and do a impromptu YouTube live. There's a lot of shit going on, some fucking goofy shit going on, and I just felt like talking about it. I mean, it's not like I don't talk about it already, TikToks and podcasts and stuff. And for those of you listening, this will also be YouTube Live that is also on Spotify, the audio version, and the YouTube version. It will be reposted there so you can watch the whole thing over. I never really know for sure what's going to happen on a YouTube Live because it's so much different than TikTok. I go on TikTok and there's hundreds of people right away, and we keep things going keep pretty busy at the time. YouTube's, I have a much smaller following there, a good size following, but a smaller following nonetheless. And it takes a little time to get people onto the program or watching the program, as it were. So we're taking a shot in the dark here, and I'm going to go for a little bit. And if we get a bunch of people, we'll keep talking. If we don't, I'll just bow my head and walk away in shame, as I've been known to do. So anyway, we are recording this for Spotify and for later on YouTube. We've got a lot of interesting things going on, some upsetting things. We've got Elon Musk going in with a band of teenagers and breaking into various departments and attempting to hack computer systems and pay systems and those sorts of things. A lot of people are coming out and saying, hey, that's illegal. Well, no shit, it's illegal. But so what? What's going to happen? Who's going to enforce it? Who's going to hold these people accountable? Some might say, well, it will be the DOJ. Yeah, but Donald Trump is directing these people to do these things, and he also has total control over the DOJ. In fact, just moments ago, Pam Bondi was confirmed to be the Attorney General. So, is in fact anybody going to hold these people accountable? And I question that is going to happen. Now, I know some members of Congress are pushing back. I know there's going to be a bill put in on the House floor to stop this sort of thing. I don't understand why we have to have a bill to stop civilians walking into our government centers and taking control. I would assume that's already kind of fucking illegal, but apparently not. And apparently there's a lot of people filing lawsuits against Trump and Elon Musk and all these sorts of things. So we'll see what happens. And we don't know how much damage he's already done. So this is screwing up a lot of people's minds, and they're very worried. And here's one thing I tell people. We can worry about everything all at once, but we'll just get overwhelmed. Let's deal with the things in front of us and watch how everything plays out. Esker Outcome says, hi, RB, big fan from TikTok. Happy to find you on here. Well, I'm happy to find you here. Mathematics says you've got a fly on your head. Okay. I'm guessing you're a Trump humper, and I don't need you. Yeah, there you go. I don't have any moderators out here at this point because I didn't tell anybody I was doing this. I was sitting here alone, and I thought, fuck it, I'll just do it. General Lee says, hello, sir. Esker Outcome, any advice on how to keep up hope? Well, I'll tell you one way I keep up hope. Hope is inevitable. I tell people, here I sit. I'm going to be 65 years old in about 2 months, okay? In my life, I've gone through a lot of shit. I've gone through trials, tribulations, tragedies, losses. I've been at times in my life where I didn't think I'd see the next day. Yet here I sit at 64, going to be 65 years old. What's that phrase? This too will pass. I think that's true to a large extent. Unless it's going to kill you, this isn't going to kill us, that you will get beyond it at some point. I'll be honest with you. Hold on a second. I got to report somebody. And I'm going to remove him as well. Okay. Anyway, the thing about it is that we always have to have hope. We will always, at some point, make it through to the other side. For the life of me, I didn't imagine that we would be in this still. I thought come November 5th, we would get beyond it, and then we could start to build back. But that's not the case. We've got people still supporting Donald Trump in spite of all the things he does, and it's unconscionable. I don't know how this is possible. And then, when I come out and do these lives, I did a TikTok live last night, and we've got Trumplifucks coming on to the live and want to talk. And for the life of me, I don't understand. Here's the deal. If you support Donald Trump, why don't you focus on Donald Trump? Why don't you focus on making America great again? But you want to come and fight with me. I'll be happy to fight with you, and it won't be hard to beat you because you're stupid and you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. But I don't personally really want to waste my time with you. You're silly, you're unserious, and you're not very bright. Brian Prado says, what do I think about birthright citizenship? I don't know, Brian. It's the 14th Amendment. It's law. It's in the Constitution. Of course I agree with it. We got a lot of Trump humpers out here today, and you think, well, he doesn't have a moderator. He can't do anything about it. Fuck that, I can't. In fact, I enjoy doing it. Thomas Smith says hello from the UK. Hey, Thomas. Anyway, we've got Elon Musk doing what he's doing. And he's got to be stopped. And it'll be interesting to see if they come up with a way to do it. All we can really do is speak out and speak loud. Now, people will say, well, what good does that do? Baby Girl says hello from Wisconsin. Hello. Why are we allowing Elon Musk to into the Treasury? That's an excellent point. I don't know. Elon Musk interfered with British politics. Maybe we should get some international law. Maybe if Jack Smith's back at The Hague, we can put Elon Musk on trial at the fucking Hague. But can you shout out my Aunt Wilma? Okay, there's another guy that's, you know what? These Trumplifucks that try to, I'm going to trick him to say something that he doesn't want to say. Listen, motherfucker, there ain't nothing I'm unwilling to say. I will say anything I fucking want. And you know what? You Trumplifucks are dumb fucking little punk ass bitches. So, anyway, we get these Trumplifucks on and they want to argue and they're so goddamn stupid. It's unbelievable to me. And they still want to come in here. They think they want to argue or make some clever comment. Here's the deal. They aren't capable of building their own platform, so nobody hears what the fuck he says or they say, so they go on somebody else's platform to try to spew their bullshit. And all that really happens is they're exposed for how fucking stupid they are. So anyway, Stephen Collins says, may I say something, please? What has our vote mattered when it comes down to the Electoral College? And I feel no matter what we do, nothing will change our world. Well, I understand how you feel about that. I think a lot of people feel that way. The Electoral College is antiquated. It's archaic. It should not be used any longer. The Republicans want the Electoral College because it works in their advantage. In order to get rid of the Electoral College, there'll have to be some kind of constitutional amendment, and that will take some time. And I don't even know that it could happen. But you're right, the Electoral College is a little troublesome. Maria says, "Hey Boomer, I feel sorry for you MAGA trolls, Elon and Trump to handle from Sweden. Don't worry about the MAGA trolls; they are weak and impotent, like their leader, Donald Trump. They are, their limp is their fucking sense of humor. You know what? If there was a troll out there that actually said something funny, I might bring them on. I might laugh. But you guys are you have no sense of humor. You've got this juvenile, stupid fucking sense of humor. It's not even funny. That might play in Outback Kentucky, but in the real world with grown-ups and adults, nobody fucking cares. D.D. Abel says, your session with Ed was great. Thank you. I love working with Ed. I've known Ed for 30 years. We spent about 27 years or more on the air together, so we have a good rapport. Let's see. Skip says, tap twice on Boomer's nose. Yeah, you don't have to. when I come out here, everybody says, make sure you follow me, make sure you give me likes or a thumbs up. If you want to do that, that's cool. If you don't, I don't care. I'm not doing this for likes or views. I'm doing this because it gets it off my chest. Paul Schaefer says, hello. My number one worry is that once hate gets whipped up, it can be targeted against any of the several minority groups. No one who isn't pure majority is safe. I understand that. You have to understand the people that are willing to engage in that violence is a much smaller group than you probably think. That doesn't make it any easier. That doesn't make it any safer. But I think you're going to find more allies in those situations than you find adversaries. Let's see. Can we press charges on Elon for exposing personal information? Absolutely. What he did, what he's doing is absolutely illegal, but it goes back to what I said. Who's going to hold him accountable? Unless there's some kind of state crime where it's out of the purview of Donald Trump controls the DOJ. He's just going to say, don't press charges on this guy. The only problem that Elon and these little kids that are following him around are going to have to deal with is that after the fact, after Donald Trump is no longer president, they're going to have some splaining to do. And they could very well go to jail. Let's see. You're getting out of breath talking. LOL. Ramon. You know what? I'm getting out of breath removing your fucking ass, you stupid son of a bitch. Thomas Smith says, do you believe the U.S. Constitution will hold up to Donald Trump? Meaning, will it prevent him from doing things he doesn't want to do? He doesn't want to do. Yeah, I think the Constitution will hold up. I mean, there's not only so much they can do. And I'll tell you what, we do have a weapon in this country that's proved to work. The Constitution, like for example, anything he wants to do with birthright citizenship or anything like that, it has to go through Congress. Now, if Republicans in Congress fuck us, that's a whole nother story. But he can be shut down in Congress by way of people not electing it. Like, for example, he said today, and I love this for all the Democrats that voted for Donald Trump because they said Joe Biden was Genocide Joe regarding the Hamas-Israeli war. They didn't like what Joe was doing, so we're not voting for him. So they vote for Donald Trump, or they don't vote at all. Donald Trump today said in a press conference with Bibi Netanyahu said, look, what we need to do is take all these Palestinians that had been in Gaza for all this time and the two-state resolution they had there and scatter them to the winds and send them to other countries, make them refugees elsewhere, and then the United States will take it over, level it, and turn it into something beautiful, presumably a fucking resort or something. So all you Democrats that didn't like what Joe Biden was doing and thought Donald Trump might do you a solid, he just fucked you in the ass is exactly what he did. He fucked you and the Palestinian people. The Palestinian people are innocent in this whole process. They were caught in the middle. And you just exposed them to the biggest criminal on the planet, Donald Trump. And unfortunately, the blood is on your hands now as to what has happened. Not Biden. Elon basically tanked the far-right party's chances in Germany. If you've seen the protest, he's also a destroyer. Yes, they're both destroyers, Donald Trump and Elon Musk. And here's the thing. This is what I keep telling you. This may be our two big factors in protecting us against these people, especially with Donald Trump. He's absolutely incompetent. He's absolutely a failure. Everything he's tried to do since he got into office has failed. I'll give you an example. He wanted to freeze federal funding. He was dancing around thinking that's what he was going to do, but what happened? It got stopped. He wanted to do the tariffs. He was big on the tariffs, but then he pulled back from the tariffs. Why did he do that? Because of public opinion and because it was going all over the news, all over the media, that this was a dumb idea. That was enough to get him to step back. So as I've told you before, we don't have many weapons, but we do have one weapon, our voice. And with our voice, we can try to change public opinion. And when there's enough people complaining and bitching and protesting, they have nothing no other choice other than to back down. Okay, now I'm just gonna. Here's what I'm gonna do. We got the trolls out here, and they think they're funny, and they're not funny. They're fucking stupid. They're juvenile. Here's what I'm gonna do, trolls. I've been removing you at this point, just removing you. But I'm going to report you for things you're saying. I don't care what you say about me. Fuck you. I don't care. You're a troll. I got a bunch of people out here listening to what I have to say, and you're some goofball troll trying to come up with a joke, and you can't even do that. So I don't care about you. But I'm going to report you because then YouTube will have to deal with you at that point, and then you'll be taken out of the mix for a while. Can Trump really take over Gaza? Not unless Congress says he can. He can't do it. Donald Trump says a lot of things he can't do. He likes to act like the tough guy, the smart guy, the strong guy. But no, he can't take over Gaza unless Congress votes to do that. The Western world is drowning. Yeah, we're bobbing up and down. There's no question about that. Ryan B., I'm a Trump supporter, and I'm proud of my small brain and poor life decisions. Well, good for you. Good for you. You recognize what you are and who you are, and you're proud of it. Good for you. Stephen Collins, I think that was a sarcastic thing. I don't think he's really a Trump follower. Stephen Collins, I'm 29 years old, and I have a hard time believing our vote truly matters. Yeah, Stephen, I understand that. I understand that. Not only over and above the Electoral College, you have to wonder what kind of sketchy shit is going on in our elections. You know, people say there might have been some untoward things going on in the 2024 election. Well, no shit, there was a lot of untoward things going on in the election, maybe to the extent where they could actually do something about it, like they talked about they were doing. The problem is there's nobody with the courage or the ability or the authority to fucking actually do it. That's the problem. The laws are there. We've got politicians that bend a knee to anybody who talks strongly, and you're right. Does your vote count? It does count. We have evidence of that in many elections, but I understand the frustration. Benny Loco's out there. Hey, Benny. Oh, Benny. Thank you, Benny. Benny's one of my moderators. She's fucking some people up. Way to go, Benny. Benny Loco says, you're in the wrong chat, Trump scum. Did you see where Don Jr. in trouble killing protected birds in another country? Not sure which one. Oh, he's a big time hunter, isn't he? Donnie Trump Jr. with a gun. That's hilarious. Hey, did you guys hear about, there's supposed to be something going on with Anonymous, you know, Anonymous on TikTok and such. Apparently the report is that they're hacking into Elon and Donald Trump's technology. And somebody said that they got Donald Trump's social security number and his cell phone number. They're throwing it out all over the internet. I'm not sure if that's true, but anything to make Donald Trump's day a little tougher. Type of dude that blames Trump and his mother for, okay, AW, you're gone. Fucking gone. You know what, Benny Loco? I appreciate your help here. I need your help. I had no idea I'd be dealing with this many Trumplefucks, but there is some joy I take in removing that motherfucker. Just kind of swatting them away like they're a little fucking bug, because that's pretty much what they are. Let's see here. Hit the thumbs up and share. Thank you, Benny. I have a great sense of humor. Politics don't make me upset coming from either side. Side note, I don't need a coloring book when I do get upset. Well, good for you. Hey, man, I love your streams and your truth-based opinions. People like you are saving America and the world. I'm under no delusions that anything I do saves anything. I'm a guy speaking my mind. Where the power and any kind of saving happens is when we can bring people together of a like mind. If I can inspire somebody to be pissed off and say something, and they inspire somebody else to say something, this is really about a grassroots effort. Not one of us can do anything to save anything. It's got to be all of us, and whatever it takes to do that. People say, do you think you're doing enough? I said, I'm doing all I can. And if everybody did all they can, then we get something done. Skip says midterms are coming. Remember that several governors are coming up in midterms. Yeah, I mean, we have to look at the midterms, but we also need the Democrats to make some changes so that they are viable candidates come 2026. And if we win in the midterms, meaning the House and the Senate, if the Democrats get control of the House and the Senate, here's what that means. It doesn't, well, I won't say it doesn't win anything for us, but here's the deal. We can block anything that Donald Trump wants to do. That's the good news. We can pass anything we want to pass, but if it's without a supermajority, Donald Trump will just veto it. So largely after 2026, if the Democrats win the House and the Senate, which they should, then largely nothing's going to get done for 2 years. That's better than some of the shit Donald Trump is currently attempting now, but it would be nice to actually get some things accomplished, some positivity, so we can start on the right path as opposed to being stuck in this fucking hole that Donald Trump and the Trump-la-fucks put us in. Cher says, look up National Popular Vote Interstate Compact. I think we need just 4 more large states to join. I know what you're talking about, kind of. I haven't read into it completely, but instead of changing the Electoral College on a federal level, you're talking about doing it on a statewide level. And you're right, we are making some headway there. So that would be nice. I'm not even sure how that would work. I don't fucking care. If we can get rid of the Electoral College, I'm down. West Philly Black. Trump said he was going to do all this when he was running for president. You're exactly right. Donald Trump has said many of the things that he's currently doing. And when you sit down and talk to a Trump-la-fuck, you'll say, well, Donald Trump said this. And he'd say, well, he doesn't mean that. That's just the way Donald Trump talks. No, he actually said it. And then he'll say something fucked up and they'll say, well, what he really means is, and I always explain to these dumb fucks, hey, I prefer a president who says what he means what he says, and doesn't exaggerate the shit he says. But apparently they don't care. You look like you play mad golf. No, I don't play golf at all. Not at all. I played maybe twice in my life, and not surprising, I was pretty shitty at it. It was like when I was 18, 19 or something. And after that, I figured I got better things to do. Kai says, I love that you call Trumpers out. They need more of it. Here's the thing. I upset some people. Like, I've had Democrats come to me and say, I can't believe you lowered yourself to calling names. Bitch, don't you know who I am? Haven't you ever seen me before? I don't claim to be highbrow. I don't claim to take the high road. And I will tell you what, Republicans are confused by people like me because they're used to Democrats turning the other cheek or saying, I'm going to take the high road. I'm not taking the high road. I have no interest in taking the high road. If you're in a fight with a bully, you better be able to match energy and do exactly what he's doing or she's doing. Otherwise, you're going to get your ass kicked. You would think the Democrats would have figured that out by now, but they haven't. Thomas Smith says, in the UK, we have Nigel Farage is a threat to British democracy. You're not alone in the matter. No, this autocracy or this fascism thing has become a virus that's all around the world at this point, unfortunately. We all got to be fighting to knock this bullshit down. Marv says, I follow you on Substack and you are fantastic. Thank you for what you add to this horror show we are in. Well, Marv, thank you very much. I don't know that I'd go as far as fantastic. I'm just an old guy sitting in his living room saying what he thinks. I feel an obligation to do it. I'm retired, so I don't work for anybody. None of my family is dumb enough to say, don't say that, Mike. I have the opportunity to say whatever is on my mind. And since I have a background in radio, I have an aptitude for being able to talk. And so with those things in line, I felt like it was my responsibility to speak up. Trump said he would end the Ukraine war in 24 hours. That didn't happen. Children dying. Canadian and the USA should actually help Ukraine. I agree. You know, a lot of Republicans look at helping Ukraine as helping some lesser country, just giving them free money. Republicans never look at the long game. They're stupid in that regard. What they have to understand is if you give Vladimir Putin free rein to take over Ukraine, then next it's Poland. And Poland's in NATO. And with NATO involved, that involves 32 countries, I think, 30 or 32 countries that are all going to go against Russia. Now we got a fucking world war. That's why we keep them out of Ukraine. We shut that motherfucker down. Paul Schaefer says, Rational Boomer, I like your videos. Please make more of them. Well, I'll put it this way. I made 8 TikToks today. I'm going to do an hour podcast that you will hear tonight or tomorrow morning. And I'm going to I'm going to spend about a half hour or so doing this. I don't have a lot more time than that. But I'm here every day, and I will do it every day. So I get your point, and we need to keep pounding on this. Boomer, can the Dems do anything? Yeah, they can do a lot of things. First, they got to start speaking out, and that's starting to happen today. You know, they're putting on protest in front of the Treasury building. Some of the reps are speaking. So they're kind of doing the right things, but we as a people are sitting back feeling like they're doing nothing. I think they're starting to. But this should have been started 2 years ago when Donald Trump was doing the things he was doing. I guess better late than never. They are doing some things. Whether it'll be enough and be quick enough, I don't know. Benny Loco says, I love devouring trolls. Yeah, they got kind of a sour, stupid taste, but yeah, it's kind of fun. J Track says, you play guitar. No, I don't. I'm not musically inclined at all. Scorpio Core says, hey, Boomer, was wondering if you think the opposition has been a little slow to attack the Republican base after these 2 weeks have shown from the Trump regime. Yeah, I think it's been slow. I mean, let's be honest. Congress hasn't even been in session that much. They were in 3 days after Donald Trump was inaugurated. Then they were like on a fucking vacation. We got a serious problem here. They need to get out and fucking react. Who should run next time? That's real hard to tell. I mean, if you were going to pick a candidate right now to run, if the election were tomorrow, Gavin Newsom would probably be the likely choice. But 2028 is a long ways away, and things change, and people emerge, and people go by the wayside. So it's really hard to tell. But the Democrats really need to find a group of people that might be likely candidates, and they need to start showcasing and pushing them now, so that people are accustomed to them and know who they are. Benny Elka says, thank you all for being here. Remember to share Rational Boomer on your social media. Thank you, Benny. Sailor Gabby, hi, everyone. Musk is now dismantling my old employer, NOAA. I heard he was at the Veterans Department, too, Veterans Administration. Let's see here. Is there a risk of state separating in the United States if Donald Trump continues the way he is? You're talking about a secession? Yeah, I don't know about that. I mean, I think there's a lot of people that would be happy to secede. I live in Minnesota. I'd be happy to go with Canada at this point if Donald Trump's going to be ruining the fucking neighborhood down here. Now, I don't think that will probably happen. You know, Donald Trump's time here is going to be limited. On the far end, he's got a 4-year term. But what we know about Donald Trump and his continued failure and his poor health, I don't think we see Donald Trump going past 2 years around here. Trump said he wanted to develop Gaza too, and it's amazing to see the Trump-la-fucks act surprised. Yeah, he said this a long time ago. But as I say, a lot of people say, well, he doesn't really mean that. No, this dumb fucker means it. And here's what you have to understand about Donald Trump. Donald Trump isn't an evil genius, and he's not a thug. He's a stupid, pussy-ass bitch. That's what he is. The people around him are thugs. The people around him are evil, and they know how to manipulate this dumb motherfucker. Pat him on the butt and say, oh, you're a fucking genius. Now go do this. That's exactly what happens with Donald Trump. Donald Trump's not smart enough to be an evil genius. Jacqueline Bowman, I see the class action lawsuit all over social media today. I can see that happening. It could happen, but understand we can't sue Donald Trump probably in that situation, but we can sue Elon Musk and his little fucking 19-year-old dickheads running around with him. Jazz Maniac says, love your takes. Thank you. Is there a risk of the United States? Okay, we already read that one. Abby says, you're absolutely right. You have to match the energy and intensity of the bullies. You cannot be quiet and in the corner hiding. Absolutely not. You know, Abby, I get people coming here all the time and they're saying, I'm so terrified. I'm scared. I don't know what to do. I just want to give up on it all. Well, if that's how you're going to be about it, you need to go sit in a corner or go in the back bedroom, close the door, and we'll call you when it's over. Because we need people willing to fight, willing to speak out. We don't want scared people. You understand when you're dealing with a bully, their goal is to make you afraid. And if you become afraid, then you give them the win. We can't give them the win. Not at all. What do you think about the Gaza Riviera thing he just announced? Not at all surprised that he said it. I would hope that the Democrats that voted for Donald Trump or didn't vote for Kamala Harris are thinking about this hard now because they were worried about those poor people in Palestine that were being maimed and killed and mistreated. Well, now those people, by voting for Donald Trump, are going to find those people that they cared so much about scattered to the winds, made refugees in other countries, and then Donald Trump is going to come in there and build some flea bag hotels. I hope that's what you wanted. No, this isn't new. His son-in-law dropped hints during the campaign. Yep. Michael Ramos, financial pushback seemed to be the number one way to get to diaper Donnie Trump. Yeah, like with the tariffs. He saw it was a disaster. He saw it was going to be fucking horrible. And the people around him said, Donnie, this is dumb as fuck. Boomers are the luckiest people in history, and they hate their kids because they don't have enough grit. That's not true. I'm a boomer. I'm a young boomer, and I have two sons that are millennials. I have a daughter-in-law that's millennials. I have a granddaughter who's 4, and I have a grandson soon to come. I don't hate my kids. I think they grew up in a different world than we did. I mean, back when I was growing up, things were a little tougher. I had to be a more self-sufficient. I was talking to my wife about this. I was wondering why my kids have so much trouble sometimes dealing with confrontations or adversaries or troubled situations. And I come to realize something that, I had a father who was a narcissistic piece of shit, a racist piece of shit. I had a great mother. But in the 70s and the 60s, you were going through a lot of shit. I didn't have somebody there protecting me or giving me a boost up or giving me a platform to jump off. I kind of had to do it myself, as many people at my age did. So when we decided to have kids, we wanted to give them every benefit, not even to the point of spoiling them, but make it easier for them. And now when they run into situations where it's hard or it's confrontational, they don't know what to do with it because they've never had to do it before. That is a failing amongst boomers and even Gen Xers that raised millennials, because we didn't give them the opportunity to fail as much as we did. We didn't give them the opportunity to have to deal with tough situations. So by virtue of that, they're not as tough as we are. That's not their fault. I always tell people, if you're a boomer and you hate millennials, fuck you. You raised the bastards. Maybe you should look at yourself. How did you raise them? And the millennials that complain about the boomers, well, I got 2 millennial sons. They would never complain about me. I've given them every advantage I possibly could. But if my son says to me, you're a boomer, you're spoiled, you're greedy, I would just say to him, okay, that's interesting. Because when you were 10 years old and I took you to Target to get your gifts for your birthday, and you spent $200 on plastic Batman toys, you weren't fucking complaining at that point. So, it's all... Here's the problem. Everybody wants to find somebody to blame for every bad thing that's going on. At some point, you got to take responsibility for yourself. But if you don't want to take responsibility for yourself, this is what you can do. If there's somebody that needs to be blamed, somebody who actually deserves to be blamed, it's all on Donald Trump. He's the president. Everything bad that happens henceforth, it is Don's fault. John Stewart, we need somebody that is on TV and the internet constantly. Well, I'm here a lot. There's a lot of people that do what I do that are here a lot. Let's see here. We're going to wrap things up in a moment. I've got to do, I'm going to record a podcast with Old Soul in a little bit. I'm involved at the state and local level with getting Dems vote in Ohio. Everyone can get involved in their local government. It's less glamorous, but so very necessary. Yeah, a friend of mine, Abe, won't be silent, always says all politics is local. And he's absolutely right. You know, people look at problems and they say, oh, I got all these problems. How do I fix it? Well, you can't fix it. It's insurmountable. It's overwhelming. You can't fix it yourself. So what do? You focus on those things you can control. And if it happens to be local politics, by all means, do that. Deal with what's in front of you. Deal with what you have some control over. And then if everybody does that up the line, hopefully we get to where we want to go. Benny Loco says, you don't stand a chance, trolls, but thanks for feeding the algorithm. By all means, thanks very much. Are we going to lose our country or win an election? Now, we're not going to lose our country, and we will ultimately win because Donald Trump will ultimately fail, as he always has. All right, I tell you what, I'm going to wrap things up for this live. Like I said, it was just an impromptu thing. I thought I'd take a shot. I was going to do it without moderators, but Benny Loco came in to save the day, and thank you very much. I probably wouldn't be here at this moment in time without Benny Loco's help, so thank you very much. For all of you listening, I want to thank you for joining me. It's hard to do these things if you're not involved, and you make it much better by asking questions and making comments. Even you fucking trolls, fuck you. But it's kind of fun to have some comic relief by stupid fuckers. So if you want to show up, that's fine. I want to remind you to listen to the Rational Boomer podcast. You can find it right here on YouTube every day, or you can find the audio version on Spotify. Just go in and put in Rational Boomer podcast and you will find it. So thank you very much for taking time and spending some time here with me today. I hope you have a great day, and we will talk to you again soon.